So let's discuss this name issue that seems to be causing quite a lot of friction within the community. From my personal opinion and from research that I have looked into, Princess Catherine doesn't seem to have an issue with the name Kate or Catherine. She doesn't even mind if you don't call her Princess. What she has an issue with, and I would agree, is this Middleton part, because she hasn't been a Middleton since she married Prince William and became Mountbatten Windsor. But I can appreciate that Catherine Mountbatten Windsor is quite a long name to put in a headline. And Kate Middleton is far easier. It takes up less space, allows the font to be bigger. And so Duchess of Narcissus and the Royal Grift have been looking at this, have been asking questions, because these YouTubers, they're all getting quite a lot of stick if a headline says Kate Middleton, as if they are the ones that are writing the headline. They're not. And nobody should be encouraging anybody to unsubscribe or shun a person that is repeating what is written. So, although people try as best as they can to call her Princess Catherine, sometimes little mistakes happen. But it's what we do about it and what we actually prefer. Because I did look at it from the aspect of how many characters the name has and how many, how big the font can be. And then I thought, let's hold on a second. I'm going to combat that sort of argument. So if we think about a headline taking on Princess Catherine, it would take 17 letters. But if we look here, we've got names like Helena Bonham Carter, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jamie Campbell Bower, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Sarah Jessica Parker, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Millie Bobby Brown. And if you think like, Addison, these are 3-barrel names. What about Arnold Schwarzenegger or Matthew McConaughey? All with more letters, and yet they still are able to get a headline. So this is clearly the media, and they're doing it on purpose because there's no reason that they cannot use the words Princess Catherine. So why don't I? It would be easier for us to be able to say, you know what, this is because Meghan Markle has the media eating out of the palm of her hands with all the puff pieces that she does. But on this occasion, I'm actually going to wager that it has nothing to do with Meghan Markle. And in fact, this is actually part of the psychological warfare that I was speaking about in the previous video. Because by using the words Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton next to each other, it paints the illusion to us that these two individuals are of equal status, when we know that they're not. But by them keep repeating it and doing that, they're trying to cement that idea that they are equal. So when you look at headlines that include Joe Biden or Donald Trump, it will always say President Joe Biden or former President Donald Trump. This is what we're dealing with. They show their status in society. But they don't do that with Princess Catherine. And the reason why is because they need to paint them as equals. Because by doing that, it enables this feud that is between them and allows them to use it to their gain. Because it makes the visual of two reality stars that just absolutely despise each other. When that's not the case. What you have is the future queen being used to sell papers, to sell that news and the narrative. They know it winds people like us up, but it's how we tackle it that is going to make a difference. At this point, I'm going to have to agree with Duchess of Narcissus. The only way that we are going to be able to tackle this is if somebody is willing to set up a petition that says that we do not support Kate Middleton being used in the media to reference the future Queen. But I would go one step further. At the moment, in the UK, we are going through a general election process. And in 2 weeks' time, our two main parties will either be Labour and Reform, as it stands. So, when you see a headline that states Kate Middleton, voice your disapproval in a civil manner, but make sure you tag the Reform and Labour MPs, whether they are your local MPs or whether they are the party leaders. Doesn't matter whether you are UK, if you are from around the world, Nigel Farage and Keir Starmer, that's all the only two names that you'll need. But tag them every time that an article comes up, hound them. And if you're in the UK and you see them on the street or they come knocking on your door, begging for your votes, have a conversation with them. Use your voice. Turn around and tell them the things that you do and you do not support. And discuss this. This is the only way that they are going to listen. And you may think that by hounding them, that actually it's really annoying. You feel like, hounding people is not the way forward, or you might feel like it's silly. That's fine. But let me explain why I suggest this. And it is to turn that psychological warfare back on its head, to put it in reverse. Because when the new Prime Minister gets into the Parliament and that petition comes down on that desk and it becomes open for discussion, they're going to have fresh in their memory all these MPs, all these people that spoke up, that highlighted this problem. And in there, they're going to remember the faces, remember the tags, and remember the articles that you posted to say, no, I don't support this. They're going to remember that. It's going to be fresh in their minds. So they're going to see that people do not support the media calling her Kate Middleton. That way, they will vote accordingly. However, if you don't, then what you're basically telling them is that you have the energy to sign a petition. You care about it that much that you will sign a petition, but when you see them face to face or when this problem arises, it doesn't bother you that much. So, and especially as it is something that is used to the media's advantage, it's got to be an outcry. That is why people need to start hounding not just the media, but the MPs. Not turn on each other. Yes, there are times when people share a post and it happens to have the term Kate Middleton in it. That person is not expressing her as Kate Middleton. That person cannot correct what has already been written. All they can do is voice that they don't support it. So rather than turning on each other, turn the anger into the direction that it needs to be. Turn it towards your MPs, turn it towards the media, and only then will something get changed. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one.